is it flashing red?
What's it supposed to do? Flash green?
Why is it flashing red?
I don't know.
Before it was just flashing red. Oh, it's flashing red again.
It's not seeing it. It should be under systems. It should be a car setup. So this is not seeing the Maestro.
Never doubt me.
Today at the shop, John is going to be working on this 2016 Mazda CX-5 with the non-touchscreen radio. The client's head unit just keeps getting stuck in this reboot loop sequence. And we've replaced the stereo in these models before with this kind of leatherette trim, non-touchscreen, but I didn't have a good solution for the dash kit at the time because the typical Metra kit will not work in this trim with this non-touchscreen radio and this leatherette. So what we've ordered is the plastic trim for the regular touchscreen stereo. The other thing that we're going to try to do is retain these center console controls. In the last CX-5 that we did, maybe like a year or two ago, Maestro did not support this car, so the client lost all of these functions and access to vehicle settings. The actual head unit harness is going to be in the lower kick panel. We can retain the factory camera with some connections behind the radio, but without the Maestro, we'll have to run wires to the back to get reverse. So we're hoping that we can use the Maestro. Because technically this car is not listed. When I looked it up, they show, you know, the 2016 with the touchscreen, and for 2017 they show the non-touchscreen. But in researching what trim piece I would need for this car, I noticed that the 2017 has the same exact center console controls. And so I thought, oh, well, you know, the center console controls and the whole center console looks exactly the same in a 2017. The operating system on the head unit looks exactly the same in the 2017, even though it's a different style screen. So I reached out to Dara at iDatalink and said, hey, do you think this will work? And she got back to me and said, yeah, it looks like it will work. So that's what we're going to try to do. I'm not sure if it's going to be the MA1 or the MA2 harness, but John will get this car pulled in shortly and let him take it apart, and we'll see if it works out. All right, here are all the parts that we're working with for this car. We're going to be installing the Kenwood DMX709s, which is an iDatalink Maestro compatible radio. So we hope to retain access to vehicle settings using this, along with our Ken 2 antenna adapter. Probably going to need an antenna extension as well. This is the Metra dash kit that we're using, the 957522B. And as you can see, that works nicely in the plastic bezel from Mazda for the touchscreen radios. And I'm not sure if it's going to be an MA1 or an MA2 harness, so I have both set aside. I'm going to let John get this thing apart and we'll see what it needs. Okay, so John's got the radio harness prepped, and you found that it is the MA2 harness?
Yes.
And that's in the kick panel down here, which I will have to get with some light.
Kick panel right there.
This thing right here?
Yep.
Okay. So that's where all of your radio connections are, so you have to just kind of extend that behind here. But it looks like it's probably not that hard to get.
Oh, it's wide open.
There, it's wide open.
Yeah.
But we do have to add a new USB port, which
I'll probably
we're
put
thinking.
around here.
Cool.
If I can, I'll take this apart just to see how much room I have.
But it looks like that's going to work, and so use the MA2 harness, but we're flashing it for the 2016.
2016, yes.
All right, we'll see if that works.
So far, so good. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Let's see if there's room here for USB without taking more of this car apart.
Right here, John is prepping to use one of his video scope tools, also known as a borescope.
You can see my light. Alright, I need 2 hands for this. Bye, peeps. Let's try it.
Okay, so the radio works, the steering control works, the backup camera works, but John has found that the center console controls do not work.
Alright, so let's redo that.
Maybe you have to flash it for 2017.
Oh,
Because remember, it's the 2017s that have that.
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Let's refresh the Maestro. When I first plugged it in, this wasn't connected.
Oh, okay.
But then it detected the can and it should be connected. But, okay, so let's go.
I'm curious, can you go into menu? Setup? And scroll all the way down under system? Bottom, yeah, go all the way to the bottom. No, you gotta hit the tab button. I don't see it. Can you go up one? I'm looking for the car setup menu.
Let me go to initialize. Let's redo it. There it goes.
Selecting Initialize will reset the Kenwood DMX709s.
Yeah. I want to see there's a car menu under setup. I was trying to see if that was communicating.
Oh, I don't know if this is communicating now.
What, the steering wheel
yeah, no,
controls?
it is.
Okay.
System?
I thought it was under system, yeah. Maybe it's one tab down. Car setup, my car setup, enter. Vehicle features, settings. Okay, so the settings are in there. It's just not retaining the center console controls. I'm wondering if you flash for 2017, if it will, because the 17s are the ones that have that.
Alright, so hopefully let's do that.
Okay. All right, so you reflashed it for 17. Nothing.
No.
No, so it's got to be flashed for
Well, I might have to
2016.
reset the radio now.
Oh,
But it's no, the radio lost power. Why didn't it didn't go through its setup? Let's reset it. We got sound. No steering controls now. No.
nothing.
Let's reset it.
To reset the Maestro from the module itself, you have to first disconnect all the harnesses and then press and hold the button on the module while reconnecting the 3-pin power harness. Keep holding that button until the LED flashes red. Then you can release and the LED should turn solid green. At that point, you can reconnect all the remaining harnesses.
Oh, it's flashing really good. All right.
All right. I'll reach out to them and see if I'm missing anything.
Yeah.
Put it back to the other firmware.
It's not
Do you need to
flashing.
flash it for something totally different to clear it?
No. You just need to unplug all the connectors. You need 4 hands. There it goes.
And they assign like different functions to those buttons, so I don't know if they, you know, do the exact same thing.
They do give you a breakdown of what it
Yeah.
is, but why is it flashing red?
I don't know.
Yeah, nothing. I gotta reset the Maestro somehow.
As we continue to have issues, John resets the radio again.
Why is it flashing red?
Nothing. So we broke it.
Okay.
You might have to flash it for something totally different, like a GMC something. What'd you flash it for?
Cheap compass.
Sometimes when Maestros are quirky, they tell you to flash it for a totally different vehicle if a reset doesn't work, because it can help clear the cache in the module. Okay, so now you are reflashing it for 2016 CX-5 with touchscreen radio,
touchscreen, yeah.
even though it's not touchscreen radio.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't have a choice.
Okay.
In 2016. 2017 you get a choice. But neither of them work.
All right, trying this again.
I have confidence. I don't like how it's always flashing red though. Why is it flashing red?
What's it supposed to do? Flash green?
This thing needs to be reset. Even though we just flashed it for a different car
Yeah, but
completely.
I know you said I thought you reset it on the module, and it didn't make any difference.
I thought I did, but let's hold it longer. I think you have to hold that button until it goes solid. I mean, I really don't want to read. Is there a reset for the radio?
Yeah, you've done that a couple times. You hit initialize.
Oh, that's the radio?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's see if there's one for the Maestro.
there probably is under setup. No, oh yeah, you were.
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't there a,
You were in the right spot.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you gotta go back to setup. Setup, and then system.
I could have sworn there was a Maestro page.
There is, but you gotta go into the cars and then go down to see my car.
Oh, connection setup?
No, it's not seeing it. It should be under system. There should be a car setup. So this is not seeing the Maestro.
It's all plugged in. Let me look. I have to read, unfortunately.
While I read through the installation guide, John double-checked all of his connections and found there was one cable he didn't see that needed to be connected to the center console. That was our issue this whole time.
All right, if this doesn't work, I quit.
This doesn't work. I'll fire you
Sounds good to me.
after I quit. Come on. There it goes. It's green.
Yay.
It went green. Key and activity detected.
Oh, look at that.
Please wait. Wait until it's done.
Turn
Please
the
the
key to ignition. Connector detected.
We did this last time too. It's checking everything. 5.3.
Yay!
Never doubt me.
Turn that down. Okay, cool. So we got center console controls working.
We got it all. Oh, camera. We got double
Oh,
lines.
double lines. So we gotta turn it off on the radio.
Okay, it works.
Cool.
Let me wrap it up.
And flush mount the USB somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, so John has this wrapped up that looks nice and clean in the dash using that factory Mazda bezel and that Metra dash kit. And we have the center console controls working. You want to show them how they work? All right, cool. And the cool thing about this, because it's Maestro compatible, it did retain vehicle settings. So if I go back into the setup here, go to setup, go to system, go down a page, my car setup, vehicle features, vehicle settings, vehicle. So all of those vehicle settings that were in her original radio are now accessible. So didn't lose that, or the camera, right? You want to show the camera?
Yep.
Nice. And if you put it back in park, I'm guessing that camera shortcut button probably isn't active.
Should be there.
Just went right over it. Oh no, it does activate it even when you're in park. Cool. On some cars, like that Ford truck you did, it doesn't get power unless it's in reverse, but in this car it looks like you can activate it whenever you want, which is pretty cool. Steering wheel controls all work too, so Maestro retained that. But I'm just happy that it was in fact able to retain those center consoles, because the radio is really kind of recessed in the dash, so you know, this is what they're used to, being able to use the knob here, and that's nice that they can keep that. And I think it does some other stuff too. There's some shortcuts.
Track.
You want to try to call the shop real quick, make sure Vicky can hear you?
Call work.
Calling work mate.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool, thank you.
Cool, no problem.
Bye.
Aside from vehicle settings, there was a page on here that had like OEM features on the second page here, I believe. OEM features.
Gauges.
So she's got some vehicle information. Doors are open, yep. Gives her her battery voltage, so that's kind of cool. And then gauges. I don't know how many people really use this feature. I used it for the thing that I had wrong with my Jeep. It was the coolant temperature gauge, I think, was messed up, and it was kind of helpful to be able to see that and figure out what was wrong with it and get the error code right from the stereo. That was cool. But I think that's probably it under the screen. And then that vehicle settings menu that I showed you, so that they still have access to all the car options that were in the original stereo. One of the things I forgot to go over is how these factory buttons are retained and what they do with the new radio. And in this example, I've got a Sony XIV AX4000 and another 2016 CX-5. The home button would actually bring you to the home screen, which I'm already on, but if I wasn't, I could tap home and that would bring me home. The music button would be a shortcut to the sound menu, but that, you know, some of these features are not going to be applicable with every model. So in this car, it looks like the music button does not apply to the Sony, unfortunately. The navigation button, for some models, depending on what stereo you got, that would be a shortcut to nav. It does bring me to CarPlay, but it's not going to pull up my maps. And then if you're, you know, playing music, your dial up and down, that's going to do your track up and track down. So you could go forward or backwards. Either way, track up, track down, that works. That's kind of cool. The star button right here, that's actually a shortcut for the car info screen. This car unfortunately doesn't have the tire pressure monitoring, but if you did have that feature, it would show you your PSI. And looks like my battery voltage is a little weak. I better make this quick. If you did a front camera, you could press and hold this to activate front camera. And then lastly, the back button, that would be a shortcut to the gauges screen. There you have it. So if you have one of these glitchy Mazda radios in your CX-5 2016, it can be upgraded with an iDatalink Maestro compatible radio. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
I try to get my mind right, but it never gets much clearer. Maybe I should see somebody, 'cause I can't